And so here we are in Excel, and what we want to do is we want to use Excel to calculate mean, median, and mode for each of these two classes, and Ms. Hughes is going to step us through it.
Okay, so let's do one thing first. Let's take a look at Class A, and remember how all that data is not arranged in order from lowest to highest. So why don't we do that? That way we can get a look at helping us find the mode a little bit faster too. So if we select the data, and depending on the version of Excel you have, you might be able to right-click and then sort ascending. Okay, it's going to ask, do you want to expand the selection? It notices there's some data nearby. Let's just continue with the current selection. Let's not expand the selection. And then here we are, 45, 51, 55, 64. Okay, that looks really good. If we sort of skim down, we can see that 71 is repeated 3 times, which is what we noticed in the data we did by hand. So this helps us see a little bit better. And so instead of having to go through and pick and peck and go, piece by piece to try and put it in order by hand, Excel will do that for you in about 3 seconds. So now we're in ascending order, and we want to find the mean for Class A. We're going to use formulas for everything. So we're going to type in equals and then average. So even though we're using the word mean to describe it, Excel recognizes that it's average. We open the bracket, and then we just select the data that we'd like the average calculated for, close the bracket, and hit enter. Okay, so 71.47, that was 71.5, the same thing we did by hand. For the median, we do the same thing, equals median. Open the bracket, select your data. Okay. And because this is an odd number, remember we found that the 9th data point in, 8 on each side, and it was 71, so let's hit enter there. So there's our median. And then we can do the same thing, equals mode. Open the bracket, select your data, close the bracket and hit enter. And again, it's 71. 71 is repeated 3 times. We do the same thing for Class B. And that was our 64.4. Finding our median. Okay. And then we're going to find the mode, and you'll see something interesting happen here. So Excel is going to look for the mode for you, but Excel doesn't have the capacity to show you if 2 values are tied for mode. So what happens is it returns the first value that is repeated the greatest number of times, and which is 61, repeated twice. But notice how it missed. Mr. Jackson, you want to highlight those two there? Just fill in 61 with the fill. But 80 was also repeated twice. And this is why putting it in order from lowest to highest in Excel and then getting a look at it, Excel will only return one mode even if another value is tied for mode. And it will always return the first one that it hits in the data order. So if you've ordered it from lowest to highest, then Excel will return the first mode it hits, and then it's your job to just look after that to see if there are any other modes in your data. Okay, so watch out for that. So now manually, what Mr. Jackson's going to do is he's going to just type in, maybe underneath or next to it, 80.
You can't do that because that gives you an error.
No, so we'll go just into the cell next to it, I asked Mr. Jackson. So yeah, 61 and 80. That one's by inspection. Okay, so mean, median, and mode. Pretty straightforward. Excel will do all the work for you. The only thing to watch for, so maybe put a little star in your notes, is that Excel only returns the first mode that it finds, and you just have to visually inspect to make sure that there's no mode that's tied.
All right.
All right.
There it is, lesson number 1.